Well, here we are, getting to be the close of another weekend, and this was one of the hottest weekends this year. Heat wave across a third of the country, hundreds, mid-90s to low 100s across most of eastern U.S. And I'm fortunate here. I do have power. I ran power to this place, oh boy, back in 90 something, X number of dollars it cost then. I don't know how many thousands of feet, but here we are, air conditioning going. It is 85 degrees outside. I can't quite make it out, but there's a thermometer, indoor-outdoor thermometer. I believe it's 85. And in here, though, it's a little noisy. Maybe it's time for a new one, but I'm thankful I have it. It is 72.9 or 73 degrees. I ran a few electrical boxes today on the outside. I ran one and I decided I wanted to paint it. Rather than having it the electrical box gray, I'd like it to be the color of the building. So I painted it. Well, let me get back to that. So here's one of them that I put on right here. I had previously ran the wire, and she's sealed. Before I don't like the ones that are recessed in. I guess if you're putting on vinyl siding, you can trim it out properly with J-channel and stuff to keep some of the water from infiltrating. But I just drilled a hole through and ran, this is a 20 amp breaker on here. All of the outlets are 20 amp breakers. For the amount of wiring I was running, I just kept it all 20 amp or 12.2. So prior to putting this on, I put a bead of caulk, a heavy bead of caulk around the back, but not the bottom. In case it did leak, I didn't want the water to collect behind it. And you need a decent bead because these boxes, you can see, they have feet that keep it off. You can almost see the silicone back there. I just wanted it to divert around rather than go in. So I did that. Of course, every time I come, I put the air conditioner in and take it out. We mowed everything. I mowed everything. I'm the only one here. And let's see. Here's where I read the outdoor temperature. 83.2, 85.2. And I was gonna, so I also hung a light, which is a cool little LED light. If you look up inside, very small bulb in there, if you can see it, little circular bulb, although it's hotter than most LEDs. And now I'll come over here, and what do I wanted to tell you about painting these boxes? I wanted to paint the box so it doesn't stick out like you see the other one in gray. But here's a box here that I painted. I first painted it what was called a khaki tan, which is my eave troughs. We wanted to put them up that day, so we just painted it that color that I had. And you can see even the drip edges along the windows and doors, so the drip caps are the same color. But I'd rather have the color of the building so it really blends in. But my point is that I painted these khaki, and I didn't like the color. So I went to Home Depot and got this brown color, which doesn't match either. But my point is that when you spray paint something, you must look to see what the active ingredient is. I believe this paint, this may be a, I can't think of the name of the paint, but I believe it's acetone. And certain active ingredients, you only have a certain time to recoat. And if you wait more than an hour, the paint is now cured on the outside, but it's still emitting the acetones that keep it wet and are now drying. So once you respray it after an hour and a half or 2 hours, it just lifts the paint. I knew it. I tried it anyways, and you could see the rough areas. I tried painting it again today after sanding it yesterday, so I can't have that. So I'm going to take it home with me and get that paint off of there. I'm not going to buy a new box because they're very expensive. The setup for the exterior outlets, a box, a waterproof or a water type GFI, and the cover for two are $75 for the both of them. I thought was quite expensive. And the other one is going to go here. It's going to go right there. That's where this box was going to go. So here's my outdoor camera, my game camera. I'm hoping to capture whatever is eating the building. Although the last time I was here, I forgot to put the, I forgot to turn it on. So I'm going down to the bottom again. I'm removing shrubs again. I'm not going to bore you with it, but you can see the distance that I did the last time I was here over the 4th of July. I started from that portion of the wall and went all the way down to, oh, maybe 10 feet to the right of my tarp, my blue-green tarp down there. Though last time I was here, I showed you how as these bushes grow, they actually knock the wall down with their branches. And a part that I showed you is right there where you can see the stones now laying. I'm sorry, I'm zoomed in, but I showed you that part, that actual area 2 weeks ago, and showed you the type of branches that are pushing the wall down. Here I come this weekend, and those branches that I showed you push the wall in. It's just something else. They're so strong, so you can't snap them, they're that strong. Even cutting through them with my large shears takes some strength. So that's about it. Oh, I don't think I showed you, but also during the 4th of July week that I was here, well, let me back up. About a month and a half ago on camera, which I have another game camera down in that dark hole down there, I had a mother deer and 2 small fawns, one larger than the other. Probably about maybe a month and a half ago. Well, 3 weeks ago I came up, 4 weekends ago I came up here, 3 weeks ago to be exact, and there was a dead deer down in the main road down over the hill. And 4th of July weekend when I was here, here's these 2 fawns. And I thought it was odd that they were here for an hour without a mother around. I mean, they were still small enough that I would have thought the mother would have been somewhere close. But they were here maybe even an hour and a half. And they were feeding behind the building. And I didn't have a camera, but I wanted to capture them. They were right in the back window. Then they came down through this area and slowly meandered, eating and feeding. They went around the pile, my debris pile, and they ended up down there under the I can't think of the name of the tree. They grow very slow. Cedar. Is it a cedar tree? No. Well, anyways, and then they laid there for about 15 minutes to a half an hour in the shade because it was very hot. And then they walked off that way. Well, yesterday, there was only one of them here. And again, feeding again here in the area. It stayed about 25 minutes and off it went. And then today again, I'm cutting down there. I bring the pile. I'm now pulling the piles down and bring it into my brush pile as I cut them from the stone wall. And as I drove around this way to come back up to get some Gatorade, it was feeding right there. And it slowly walked up this way. So I believe it's motherless now. I believe it's brother or sisterless. And it's on its own. Though it's a good size fawn. Maybe it'll survive, maybe it won't. But I believe there's plenty of food around for them. And it looks like it was taught well on what to eat and to move on from place to place. So, with that said, I'll end. Yeah, thank you.